Alright, so look, in this video, as quickly as I possibly can, rapid fire mode, I'm going to tell you exactly how to build a life that you are proud of. It's the same thing I've used to get me to a point where, I'm living a life I'm pretty proud of, but also every single one of my clients I work with, we also follow this exact same framework. So we have two parts to this. And before we jump into it, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Carson. I started this channel as a way to talk about the mistakes I'm making, the things I'm learning, in an effort to make sure you don't make those same mistakes and become the best version of yourself a little bit faster. So look, when we look at building your dream life and building a life you're proud of, there's two categories that we really like to look at. The first one that I'm going to review just kind of briefly because I talk about it in every single one of my videos because of how important it is. So if you want to get a little bit more in depth about this, I posted a video not too long ago. You can give that a watch. But that is a simple framework that has four main parts to it. First is going to be clarity, getting crystal clear on the person you want to become. Second is going to be learning about basically the difference between the person you are now and the person you are trying to become, and learning what it's going to take to close that gap, which is points number three, habits. The habits that it's going to take to get you from point A to point B, becoming the best version of yourself. And finally, number four is doing those habits consistently. So a lot of you, that probably rings a bell. You already know that framework because I hammer it home each and every day. But there's a new set of basically pillars, I like to think about them, that are things that you should kind of focus on when trying to create this best version of yourself, and things that you need to quote unquote max out, if we're thinking in video game term, in order to become the best version of yourself. So I have those written down here in front of me, and we're going to cover each one of them so you can start developing that within yourself. Habit number one is going to be some sort of creative habit. A lot of people think, especially men, are not that creative. They don't think we need to work that creative bone, but that could not be further from the truth. In my own life, I know when I do not have something that is letting out that creative energy, things just feel bland. It feels like I don't have anything big that I'm working towards. So creative, it could really be anything. If you're artistic, fantastic. Draw, do something, I don't know, do pottery, whatever it is for you. For me, I really enjoy creating videos. So my main channel is kind of where I'm able to get that artistic and creative bone out of my body, because I have to plan, I have to film. It takes a lot of work, and it really works that creative muscle. So think about in your life, in what way can you be creative? How can you exhaust that creative bone in your body? Perfect. Number two, we are going to jump down to physical. This is the one we all think about. It's all very important. It's going to help you build the body that you probably envision when you're thinking of the best version of yourself, but it could be anything at all. And it doesn't, these things, they don't have to stay the same forever. They can change around. So, for example, physical, it could be going to the gym. It could be doing MMA. It could be running, biking, swimming. It could be rock climbing. Really, whatever it is. Something to get your physical energy out, and even better, hopefully get you to building a body that is more in line with the person you want to become, or at least helping you develop characteristics to become closer to the person you want to become. Okay, quick break for a second, because that's a lot of information to digest. Okay, number three, the third pillar, that is going to be mental. Now, when I think of mental, I'm not thinking of your emotions. That's a different point. Instead, I'm thinking of doing something scary, something outside of your comfort zone. I really enjoy in my life when I have something at all times that kind of in the back of my head, like my stomach drops whenever it gets brought up into my conscious mind. It just makes me a little bit nervous, a little bit like, ooh, I don't know if I can complete that. And it could be anything. For me, just some examples I've had: doing jujitsu tournaments, getting married, definitely a scary thing. Right now, I'm training for an Ironman in less than 11 months. I don't know how to swim that well. So that's a little scary. Of course, I'm going to get there, and I'm not going to identify with someone who can't swim, because then I'll believe it. But some of these things that you're like, I don't know if this is fully possible, but I'm going to work like hell to achieve it. So that's point number 3, mental, aka scary. Point number 4, we're going to emotions. Now, of course, emotions, incredibly important. Going to be important just for maintaining your composure in different scenarios, being able to open up with your wife, your future children, and being able to hold some of that emotional responsibility that you have. So this can be worked in a whole bunch of different ways. My favorite way is just throwing yourself in the fire and faking it till you make it. Truly, it sounds a little weird, but I have found no better way to learn that skill and become that person than deciding, okay, what kind of person do I want to be during conflict? What kind of person do I want to be when things get hard? Getting crystal clear in that, and then putting yourself in the situation where you have to work that bone. Getting yourself in situations where you're uncomfortable, where things aren't easy. And then think about the person you've set for yourself that you want to become in those situations and start acting like it. There's some game for you. You're welcome. Finally, point number 5, relationship. Incredibly important for everyone. I don't think anyone lives a happy life without having some sort of relationship. So whether that be friends, family, partners, whoever it might be, try and focus on that relationship. Build it up in the best way you possibly can. Treat them as if the way you would want, someone to treat your future daughter, whoever it might be. Just treat them like you know they should be treated, and make an effort constantly. If you're together for a year, don't just drop off and start doing things. Keep doing those things over and over. So ladies and gentlemen, that was a lot of points, I will say. But just to recap, we have creative, we have physical, we have emotion, we have mental, aka scary, and finally we have relationship. Incredibly important. So the way I like to think about it is maxing out all of these stats and using this kind of as a guide for getting you to the point you want to be. So I hope this helps. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's a lot to break down, but this is the exact framework I created Elevate my community off of, with hundreds of other people doing the exact same thing as you. It is growing incredibly fast each and every day. There's more and more members joining. So if you want to join, there's a free and a paid version. I'll be completely honest, I don't care which one you join. The free is focused on teaching, helping you discover who you want to become. The premium version, which is $1 a day, basically helps you take everything you learned and everything that you know in order to become the person you want to become, and actually helps you become that person with high accountability directly from me. So I'll put the link right down below if that's something you might be interested in. But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.